Voters in France will go to the polls this weekend to choose their next president. And after a campaign characterized by anger and apathy, the latest polls suggest Emmanuel Macron's lead over far-right challenger Marine Le Pen is shrinking fast. There are 12 candidates led by President Macron, who's going for his second term. His main challengers are Marine Le Pen, who has focused her campaign on the cost of living crisis in France. She has surged in the polls in recent weeks. Another far-right candidate, Eric Zemmour, has slipped down the standings, in part due to previously stated pro-Russian views. On the left is veteran left-winger Jean-Luc Mélenchon, famous for his stance against globalization and the elites. The voting on Sunday is the first round of the process, with the two leading candidates confirmed by next Thursday, April the 14th. They will then face a head-to-head runoff in the second round on the 24th.
As the French prepare to cast their votes, Mr. Macron has been late to the campaign trail. Busy with the war in Ukraine, his diplomatic efforts with President Putin gave him an early boost in the polls. While still ahead, it's now closed to a very tight race.
C'est gentil. Merci beaucoup.
At the opposite end of the country, a different market, but the same far right threatening Mr. Macron once again. And Marine Le Pen's praise for Vladimir Putin in the past and party loans from a Russian bank have not hindered her campaign. If the polls prove right, she will face Emmanuel Macron in the second round runoff to be France's next president.
Emmanuel Macron.
For large parts of the electorate, Mr. Macron appears elitist and out of touch. A tough political identity in tough times.
Like many countries, the rising cost of living is a real concern for French voters ahead of this election. The war in Ukraine and France's position in Europe is also high on people's agenda. President Macron has been accused of neglecting the public sector here in France. But his biggest rival, Marine Le Pen, and her relationship with Russia has also sparked heated debate ahead of Sunday's first round.
Marine Le Pen's anti-immigration policies have also fueled accusations of Islamophobia and racism, and her popularity is a worry for many.
We are quite confident, but also we are very vigilant about Marine Le Pen. We hope it will be fine.
One political analyst who studies the far right says it's no temporary phenomenon in France.
The far right has been around for more than, nearly 50 years. You must remember that we've been the target of so many terrorist attacks from radical Islam, especially since 2015, that some French people have a much more confrontational approach to Muslims and Islam.
Victory isn't a certainty for Mr. Macron, who's warned his supporters don't believe the far right can't win. And we'll begin to get a sense of that as results come in on Sunday night. Sally Lockwood, Sky News, Paris.
Well, that was Sky News at 10. Coming up, we'll take a first look at tomorrow's papers in the press preview, including this story on the front of the